evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to join us in this edition of the 6 p.m. Balingo Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television. We are going to begin right away with Cedric Noufele. Good evening to you, Cedric Noufele.
Bonsoir, Mimi Mefo. Bonsoir à tous.
Cedric Noufele, President Paul Biya is preparing to address the nation that is going to be proud to New Year celebration for the third time since the crisis rocking the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon took a violent twist in 2016, as Cameroonians at home and abroad are preparing to listen to the State of Nation address residents in the conflicted northwest and the southwest regions. Will be telling us in this newscast that they are tired of gunshots and insecurity. Would President Paul Biya be addressing these problems among some of the political, social, and economic problems plaguing the national territory? We shall be getting the views of Cameroonians in this newscast. We shall be right back. Good evening to you once again, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, in less than 2 hours from now is going to be addressing Cameroonians at home and abroad. But before we get to the expectations of Cameroonians as far as his declarations are concerned, we begin here in the country's economic capital, Douala, where a 2-year-old baby was discovered. A 2-day-old baby, rather, was discovered abandoned in a garbage heap at New Dado neighborhood that is in the Douala 1 subdivision. The macabre discovery was met by some local inhabitants. He is currently under medical care at the Dado District Hospital, as Mfomi Armstrong Sander tells us in this report.
Here is the garbage can in which a newborn baby was discovered early Sunday, December 30, 2018 at the government school New Dado in Douala 1 subdivision. Inhabitants say they got attracted by the baby's cry. A woman who came to empty her waste heard the baby's cry and alerted her neighbors, who, together as one man and out of curiosity, approached the garbage can and surprisingly saw a baby wrapped in a fabric and tied in a black plastic. The macabre discovery sparked numerous reactions from New Dado inhabitants, who generally condemned the act of abandoning a newborn baby, qualifying it as ungodly. The baby was immediately taken to the Dado District Hospital for medical attention. The supervisor of these health establishments and staff agreed to name the baby as Baby Luke Archange. So revealed that financial support worth more than 30,000 francs CFA has been received from persons of goodwill for Baby Luke. The Social Welfare Department of the Dado District Hospital said the necessary documents are being compiled to be forwarded to hierarchy for better follow-up. Baby Luke Archange, according to medical report, is about 2 days old, weighs 3.300 kilograms, is in good health and shows no sign of premature birth.
And one person has died in an accident which took place at pharmacy in Dokpat, that is here in the country's economic capital, Douala. The incident took place in the early hours of this morning. The deceased is known to be a motorbike rider, and according to sources, he was trying to overtake a tanker when he was crushed by a heavy-duty truck. He died on the spot. Elements of the Army Rescue Unit arrived to the scene to get rid of his mortal remains. Movements, it should be noted, on that stretch of road were paralyzed for several hours. Buea has time and again been in turmoil throughout 2018, like several towns and villages in the conflicted northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. As the new year is about to begin, the people's desire is for concrete solutions to be provided to address the current impasse in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon. Some Buea residents are calling on the President of the Republic to release the jailed Ambazonian leaders before a genuine dialogue is engaged. Derek Jato, who is going to be reporting from Buea, tells us that the town was ghosted this Monday. His report.
Buea, the southwest regional capital, is entering 2019 with increasing tensions. The war that emanated from the Anglophone crisis is still on, and there have been a lot of meetings on how to end all this, for the damages recorded have been enormous. In one of the meetings, Buea taxi drivers called on the authorities to shame the excesses of security forces in the city on them.
And so at the level of Malingo, We used to find uniformed men who stand there and hide themselves. Sometimes they come and sit in their cars, even a private car, waiting to see a driver who will stand around Malingo and then just come up and hold you and start asking for wrong parking, Malgare, Vincent.
A sector they brandish that did witness some orderliness in 2018.
My syndicate in Buea, here in Buea, Sintrakam in Buea, is doing their best as a transport.
On the other page, critics say Ghost Town has won again this year, as all Mondays were respected. The increasing hostilities, many say, had long erased the hospitality of Buea. Mayor Ekema Patrick Gesumwe with his councillors, leaving the situation will sit and deliberate. The name of Buea is changed from the town of legendary hospitality to the city of excellence.
Buea is known as a city of excellence. Buea excels in all domains of life. You name them. Buea excels in academics. Buea excels in culture. Buea excels in politics.
On the street,
I hope to see they may they release those people. May they release them all. I believe from there we will get a change.
The people of Buea are waiting expectantly for President Paul Biya's end-of-year speech.
And youths in Bamenda, northwest region of Cameroon, are saying that they are tired of gunshots and that they could be used to gunshots, but it is never a normal way of life. Others have questioned why the rate of insecurity is instead on the rise, whereas the two Anglophone regions of the country are heavily militarized. They are calling on ceasefire and the release of Anglophone leaders, as well as genuine dialogue. They were speaking to Mbu Stella. Let's hear them in the following excerpt.
I would like to plead with His Excellency Paul Biya that he should look into more the problems or the crisis taking place in the northwest and southwest regions, because we the children are the highest victims. We are suffering most in this situation because we are caught up in the middle. We wake up every morning with gunshots and we are forced to lie on the floor. We turn around, we look this way, we are outside, and when we finish, we rush back home. We get what we want from the stores and rush back home because we are scared. We don't know from which angle there will be a gunshot. We move around in the street seeing dead bodies lying up and down, and it looks like it's normal when actually it's not normal. We the children are actually very traumatized. We are scared and we are pleading on His Excellency Paul Biya to look into the matter and look for long-lasting solutions so that we the children can go back to school.
It's like we are living now in two different countries, the Anglophone area and we have another area where nothing is going on, no school, nothing. So the president should try to see that he come to a conclusion to arrange this problem so that Cameroon will be united as before.
What we have been pleading for him is that let him release our leaders so that we can sit on the table and dialogue. He should not dialogue with people who are not even concerned in this matter. So our plea is that let him release our leaders who are locked up in prison so that we can be able to sit down and see how the problem can be solved.
These two parts of Cameroon are part of his nation and he is in charge and he has the power to bring back the situation to normalcy. Now in this region we are having a lot of problems. First, our children are not going to school. Us, we are not even safe. Insecurity is very high, even though with a high rate of militarization in the region, we're experiencing the worst situation of security. So I expect him to address the situation squarely and address it like the father that he is, address it genuinely and give room or open room for genuine dialogue.
What I expect from the head of state is only three things. I expect the head of state to call for ceasefire. I expect him to release all detainees in connection to this crisis. And the third one, to initiate a broad-based dialogue for us to get out of this crisis.
And Christians in Jombe and Lumi in the Mongo division of the littoral region of Cameroon have said that they are disgruntled at some of the happenings in Cameroun in the year 2018. They were speaking during a special church service that was organized by the Evangelical Church of Cameroun, EEC. Some of the problems that they cited during the church service was the Anglophone crisis, the refugee problem that is plaguing Cameroun at this point in time, lack of potable water and unemployment. Immaculée Fogwe has the details of that report.
The socio-political crisis in the northwest and southwest region of the country has been one of the nightmares of Cameroon in 2018. With all of these problems plaguing the country, a special service was organized in the city of Lumanjombe by the Evangelical Church of Cameroon. Reverend Bienvenu Chebonso seized the opportunity to talk on pertinent happenings affecting them. 2018 cannot be regarded as a good year as a result of the tension going on in the northwest and southwest region of the country. Refugee management, constant light cutoffs, and access to potable water in our locality is a nightmare. He wishes that God should forgive us from our sins and come to our aid. The sub-divisional officer of Lum, Pascal Zoua, invites the population to be prudent and responsible in celebrating the end of year season. He says preventive measures have been put in place for the effective progress of the event. The wish of the people of Mungo is that peace should be restored for a better Cameroon in 2019.
We now take you to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the elections took place. It is now in the phase of vote counting in the country. The proclamation of the results is expected on the 15th of January 2019. The election Sunday witnessed delay and tension and almost registered after Pope Francis prayed for peace in the election. It should be noted that Joseph Kabila is not standing as president of the Democratic Republic of Congo after his mandate expired 2 years ago. And that brings us to the end of this first segment of the news. Infos encore. Bonsoir, Cédric Noufeli.
Bonsoir, Mimi Mefo. On le disait à l'ouverture de ce journal, d'abord cette affaire concernant l'abandon d'un enfant retrouvé dans un bac à ordures, abandonné par sa mère, retrouvé par des bons samaritains. Quels soins ont été accordés à ce nourrisson? Comment en est-on arrivé là? C'est une enquête que signent Mathilda Kemazou et Julingue Nyandé.
C'est dans ce bac à ordures, situé à l'école publique de New Deido dans l'arrondissement de Douala 1er, qu'a été retrouvé un nouveau-né de sexe masculin aux premières heures de la matinée du 30 décembre 2018. Ce sont ces cris qui ont attiré l'attention d'un habitant du quartier.
Environ de 5h45, un maman qui ramasse la poubelle, il l'appelle, il dit que viens ici. Quand on vient vers les mamans, on traverse la route, on part à la bac à la poubelle, il y a un bébé qui est en train de crier dans la bac à ordures. C'est là, le voisin, il est entré, il a trouvé un nylon noir, il a pris le nylon noir. L'enfant est en train de crier. L'enfant était emballé avec un pain de 8 masses. C'est là, madame a crié, les voisins sont sortis et les gens sont venus.
C'est donc le frère d'Ernest Tanto qui a fait la découverte. Une histoire qui défraie la chronique dans ce quartier et suscite de vives réactions.
Bon, elle vient jeter l'enfant dans la poubelle, c'est pas vraiment normal. C'est quelque chose de choquant. Un beau enfant comme ça, c'est quelque chose que bon, beaucoup de femmes pleurent, elles veulent l'enfant. Les femmes marchent dans les choses pour chercher l'enfant, mais l'autre accouche, elle jette, c'est pas vraiment normal.
Cette maman qui est venue jeter cet enfant, elle a le cœur. Parce que porter l'enfant 9 mois et tu accouches, tu viens jeter dans un bac d'ordures, vraiment, c'est un acte criminel. Dieu va garder ce bébé, il serait un bon Camerounais demain.
Le bébé sera conduit à l'hôpital de district de Deido pour une prise en charge immédiate. Sur place, nous rencontrons le superviseur de cet hôpital.
Oui, le personnel de ce service a sollicité donner le nom de bébé Luc Archange à cet enfant. On a pris les médicaments à la pharmacie, on a placé les perfusions, on a donné de l'eau, on a acheté les médicaments. Et la quête, à la date d'aujourd'hui, les bonnes volontés, vous voyez, le montant est à plus de 30 000 que les gens donnent. Dans la liste, on continue à recevoir les bonnes volontés. Donc on doit l'acheter à manger, on doit l'acheter à boire. Il y a d'autres qui donnent même les habits.
Il aura ensuite contacté le service social pour un meilleur suivi de l'affaire.
Dans ce genre de cas, il faudrait qu'on sécurise le bébé. Après, n'est-ce pas, qu'il ait eu un traitement, qu'on s'est assuré qu'il va bien, il faudra un placement institutionnel provisoire. Donc pour cela, il faudra tout un dossier que je devrais monter, adresser à ma hiérarchie. Entre-temps, hier, j'ai fait le signalement auprès du délégué départemental des affaires sociales. Donc elle est au courant de la situation. Mercredi, je vais monter le dossier avec tout ce que cela comporte. Et puis après, quand l'enfant sera en bonne santé, on le placera en institution. Et puis après, on pourra l'envoyer au CAED à Yaoundé. C'est le centre d'accueil des enfants. C'est un enfant qui appartient déjà à l'État, sauf si, n'est-ce pas, puisqu'il y a une procédure qui est ouverte au niveau du commissariat. Parce que j'aurai besoin du procès verbal du commissariat dans le dossier. Ça veut dire qu'au niveau du commissariat, il y a une enquête sûrement qui a déjà été ouverte. Si on retrouve le parent, là on ne pourra pas garder le bébé. Mais au cas où on ne retrouve pas le parent, c'est la pupille de l'État. Il sera mis à la disposition de l'État du Cameroun.
Le bébé, qui a reçu pour nom de baptême Luc Archange, se porte bien et serait âgé d'1 ou de 2 jours, selon le major du service de néonatologie.
Et le président de la République, Paul Biya, vient de confirmer sur son compte officiel Facebook qu'il s'adresse ce soir à la nation camerounaise dans un discours qui sera retransmis à la fois sur Equinoxe Télévision, mais aussi à la radio publique, également sur les réseaux sociaux. C'est l'annonce faite par Paul Biya sur son compte officiel Facebook. Et vous suivrez ce soir une édition spéciale de l'émission Equinoxe Soir, présentée par Serge Alain Autour, pour faire à la fois le bilan de l'année 2018, mais aussi évoquer les attentes concernant le discours du chef de l'État et l'analyse après les propos du président de la République autour de 20h30, et un autre plateau spécial en direct de Yaoundé avec la crème des experts conviés sur notre plateau du côté de Yaoundé qui sera présenté par Guy Zogo ce soir afin de pouvoir prolonger l'analyse et le débat autour du discours du président de la République, discours très attendu après son investiture il y a quelques mois en tant que président de la République du Cameroun. Mesdames, Messieurs, c'est la fin de cette édition bilingue de l'information sur Equinoxe Télévision. Bonne soirée à vous, Mimi Mefo.
Merci encore, Cedric Nufeli. To our televiewers, we thank you as well for joining us tonight in this edition of the bilingual primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. As Cedric Nufeli said earlier, we are going to be having a special program tonight. Is going to be talking about the declarations of the head of state, during which we are going to be having experts, economic analysts, as well as politicians who will be talking about what they have as expectations, and they will be analyzing the speech of the President of the Republic of Cameroon. We are also going to be having a special program that is going to be relayed live in Yaoundé, nation's capital. We thank you so much once again for joining us. Good evening, and stay tuned to programs on Equinoxe Television.